Hello gorgeous, I'm back today and today we're talking about Neville Goddard's Bridge of Incidents. Now some of you guys are probably really happy to see the name Neville Goddard in one of my videos because this is something you have been requesting from me for a really long time. So before I get into the Bridge of Incidents, let me just kind of tell you guys that I tried to study Neville Goddard's work years ago when you guys started asking me about him. And I have all his books in Kindle form, in physical form, in an audiobook because I really wanted to study it. But for some reason, I was really having difficulty, and I've shared this before, that I am really great at manifesting. I have my process down pat. And I've been using it for 16, 17 years, and I've manifested all the big things in life and all the little things and everything I've ever desired. But one thing I've noticed is that when I try to study someone else's process, whether it's Abraham Hicks or Neville Goddard, for some reason, they really get in my head, and then I start second guessing myself, and then I'm like not manifesting for a while. So then I have to get rid of them and then go back to doing it the way that I do it. So now this time when you guys were recommending it, I had to dig up his books, and I went back to some of the content, and what I'm realizing is that I've already been using their stuff, but I'm using it in my own way. And so when I try to use it in the way that I mentally understand it from them, that's where the disconnect happens for me. So the Bridge of Incidents, I had no idea this was Neville Goddard's thing, but I have been experiencing this my entire life. Even before I discovered the law of attraction in 2006, 2007, this has been happening to me. And so this is how I would describe it. The Bridge of Incident is a series of events that happen when all of you is in alignment. I've really started introducing my deeper concepts here on YouTube with the 4 parts. This is something that I use with my private clients, and I'm now introducing it on YouTube, is that there's 4 parts of us, right? There's the soul part, there's the physical body, there's the emotional body, and the mental body. Of course, we make one big whole and they all communicate and influence each other. But what I have found is in coaching my clients, it helps to break it apart so that we can figure out what part of them is not aligned, where there's duplicity. Because if you have duplicity in your emotional body and you keep doing mindset work, it's going to make some difference, but you're going to get better results if we just go into your emotional body, right? Can you see that? So when all 4 parts of you are aligned, then what's going to happen, you are thinking the right thoughts, you're feeling the right feelings, you're sending out the right vibration, your nervous system is on board with your soul's desire, and you're taking aligned action. And what happens is all of a sudden your subconscious, your soul, all of that part starts putting these things in place where you feel inspired to do this one thing, you do the thing, and then you met this person and they tell you to do this thing, and they tell you about, and then this other thing unfolds, and then this opportunity happens, and before you know it, you're at your manifestation, and you're like, oh my God, how did this even happen? This is why I don't really like answering how questions. How did you do it? Well, I did it through alignment in myself, and then the Bridge of Incidents. If you went to the exact same places and did the exact same things and spoke to the right people, the same people that I spoke to, you can't recreate that. I can't even recreate that in exactly that same manner, because the Bridge of Incidents is just the path of least resistance that the universe uses to get you to the thing that you are aligned to manifest in your life. So this is a big thing. If you're oh, okay, well, she did this, and then she went there, and then she read that book, and then she hired that mentor, and then she did scripting in this way, I'm just gonna follow her path. Well, that's not your aligned action. And especially if you are not, all 4 parts of you are not aligned, it's not gonna pan out the same way. So that's the first thing I wanna say, is that this is not necessarily something that can be manipulated. However, having said that, I have helped many of my clients figure out what their next aligned action could be, because sometimes they can't see it, and through coaching, through asking them certain questions, it comes up where that's what they're wanting to do, but they're second guessing themselves, or they're making up stories about that action, whatever the thing is. So we can help you figure it out but I can't say with a guarantee, oh, go here, jump off this bridge, eat that. It's not gonna work like that, as you can probably see, right? So another way of saying this is that you enter, scientifically speaking, a flow state. To be able to enter a flow state, if they've studied this, if they plug in those brain mapping and heart rate monitor and all those things, there is certain things happening on a physical level inside of you. And I believe what they're mapping is the alignment of these 4 states, that your thoughts are aligning with your emotions, are aligning with your nervous system, are aligning with your soul's desire, and you've now entered this flow state, and it seems like you're superhuman because you're doing one thing after another and it's all unfolding, but you can't necessarily plan it that way. None of my manifestations were planned in the way that they manifested. If you look back, it does look like someone had a plan. I'll tell you right now, it wasn't me. Someone definitely had a plan up there, but it wasn't me. I was just kind of like inspired to do the next thing. But it wasn't inspired like, oh, I know, I'm going to do this thing and then that thing will unlock. Like you can't do it that way. It just doesn't work that way. And if you figured out how to do it that way, wow, amazing. Because that's not how it works typically with the bridge of incidents. So here's my question for you. I bet that you are already experiencing this in many areas of your life, even if you didn't know anything about Neville Goddard or his bridge of incidents. So in the comments right now, tell me at least one area where you experienced this bridge of incidents, where life just led you to a whole bunch of things. Like even the way I started this YouTube channel 13.5 years ago, like I couldn't have imagined what would come out of it, or that I was manifesting such huge things through it. Everything, the way we manifested our mansion, the way I manifested my husband, the way I manifested my career, it all was these series of events. And the big key thing for me is that there was no doubt in the process, because when you're really aligned action, it feels good. When the doubt creeps in, that's the signal that some part of you has gotten misaligned and you need to make it work. Like I shared with you in the wormhole master code yesterday that we led live, all of you needs to get on the jet together. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna send the upper half of my body and the lower half of my body is gonna stay home. If you want to go to a destination, all of you needs to get on the plane. That's how it is. All of you needs to be taking this aligned action. That's why it's aligned, right? Because it's all of you. The other thing I want you to leave in the comment is one key takeaway. I'm using the comments to not only interact with you, but get inspiration for my next manifestation videos. As you guys know, my son has challenged me to 30 manifestation videos in 30 days, and I'm having so much fun doing this. And a lot of you guys did mention Neville Goddard, and I was always hesitant to share his stuff because I had such hard time studying him. But what I've recently realized is that I have secondhand exposure to him, because some of the other people that I've studied over the years were really big fans and students of his. So I have like secondhand exposure to his trainings, and I can still share kind of my perspective of them without really knowing his work on a deeper level. Because what I'm realizing as I'm studying it back is that I have been using it, I just didn't know it was his work. I just got really good at practicing it, if that makes sense. So for those of you guys that don't have my free wealth activation video yet, what are you doing? My audio, it's not a video, sorry, my wealth activation audio. What are you waiting for? It's free. It's for a limited time. You get my container workbook with it. You get my resourceful masterclass with it, all free. Sign up with the link below. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.